The Saints do a really good job in exploiting coverages, and I don't think the Ravens did a great job in disguising coverage here. You can see this off-man coverage and what is going to be cover 2 pre-snap and post-snap. And what the Saints will frequently do, at least in this game, I haven't watched a ton of them this year, they'll line 2 up over here. When they see cover 2, they'll send, or on a given side, and they'll send 1 on a cross. And what that leaves is 3 defenders for 1 receiver and a disadvantage on the other side, or hopefully a disadvantage for them. The other thing is, Ben Watson gets this free release and nobody takes him. Looks like he got this cross accounted for by Mosley here, and the back accounted for by Levine, but nobody accounts for Ben Watson. Nobody chips him off the line. And Jefferson's in a bind here. Jefferson is backpedaling. You can see off the snap, he's really conscious about that outside receiver getting deep. That's where his eyes are. I don't think there's any question that's where Breeze is headed. That is to say to Watson there, or to the tight end. I guess that's Watson. There's just, look at that space. Look at that space. And a quarterback like Breeze is not going to miss that. Just right at the sticks, you'll see this out. Ball's already out. There's just too much space for Jefferson to make up. Ball's on the money. Not a great job defensively down here at the goal line. You can see they're loading up to stop the run. But somebody's got to chip that tight end. Again, Watson gets this free release. He doesn't even really make a pretense that he's blocking here. You've got to chip him. Who is that? Yeah, that's Levine. Levine, you got to get on that. I know he's trying to shoot that gap there. The other thing is, I'm not sure why Albert McClellan's in this situation. I don't get it. Suppose he does a good enough job of filling there, and maybe that's not on him. But there's nobody covering Ben Watson. You can see these 3 sell out there at the play side motion there. Boy, that's easy. They made that so easy on Breeze. You'd like to see the offense being really sharp here to start the game. This is the Ravens' first drive. And it's 2nd and 10. They're at midfield. They managed to do a nice job at sort of digging themselves out of being very deep in their own territory after a fumble recovery. But Joe has got to call for this ball to be snapped. You can see the Saints with 12 on the field, really in disarray here. And right now, Joe's got the green light. Look at how far 95's got to go to get off the field. He's still kind of in a slow walk before he starts sprinting. There's no excuse for that. It may seem a small thing, but this puts you, if you snap this ball with 12 on the field, at the 45-yard line and having to deal with 2nd down and 5 rather than what ends up happening, which is 3rd and 13. And then the drive dies. The Saints rush 3 here, drop 8 into coverage, and they still manage to get pressure, push the pocket, particularly on the edges. Neither Brown nor Stanley hold up particularly well. Against this kind of coverage on the back end, Joe's got to be decisive. He has got to be decisive. Right here, watch this double move on the outside. Gets the under coverage defender really to buy into that. And he's free. Right there, Joe's got to make a decision. He's got to see that. You can see him scanning that side of the field. This kind of coverage requires great throws and decision making. He's got them right there. Now, he doesn't have a ton of time. That's the throw. Great move. Not sure who that is out there. See that, watch his double move to get by him. Yeah, that was the throw. If Joe saw it, watch it again. Yeah, the big issue really is him not having a lot of time, even though they only brought 3. I saw this several times on Sunday. The Ravens defender would open up into this bail coverage, And there's sort of an unspoken thing, that I think, between Breeze and the receiver. When that happens, when he sees the defender play that defense, he's just going to let the ball go. See how he throws it to the sort of to the outside and a little bit behind, in case the defender sees it and breaks on it. He just really doesn't have a chance. The ball comes out real quickly, well before the receivers coming out of that break. Just something to keep to be mindful of if they were to see the Saints down the road when you play that coverage. Here again, we see the tight end not covered off the line, and he runs this cross, and nobody picks him up. And you can see there's confusion in terms of coverage there, or an assignment between Mosley and Tony Jefferson. You can see Smith pointing to him, that somebody needs to pick him up. Nobody sees him. Zadarius Smith may be the Ravens' best inside pass rusher. Real violent hands there, and a violent finish too. Watch how physically he is slapping this guy's hands down here. Whack. And then really quickly dips his shoulder. Look at that, how he strings that together. And again, just a violent physical hit on Breeze.